Hi everyone, this is D Keys bringing you an Elementalist's guide to the underground facility Fractal. For this Fractal, I would recommend a dagger focus setup over a lightning hammer setup because of dagger's larger cleave range. Instead of fighting the dredge that are on the ground and the first platform, we stealth using Shadow Refuge and apply swiftness so that we can reach the ramp towards the first switch without aggroing anything other than this small patrol of 2 dredge. Once that patrol has been cleared, the Mesmer lays a portal entrance at the top of the ramp, and a second party member waits at the top of the ramp to stand on the switch, while the 4 other members, including the Mesmer, stealth up at the bottom of the ramp as seen here. The 4 party members then proceed through the gate while the other person is standing on the switch, and once everyone is through, the Mesmer drops the portal exit for the person standing on the first switch to take. Once all 5 party members are back together, clear the 2 veteran dredge that are in front of the door to the 3rd and 4th switches, as well as the small patrol that is on the ramp towards the 2nd switch. As usual when using dagger focus, maintain a good rotation so that you can stack some might for your party, and chain swirling winds with your party's other reflects. Also, if your timing is fortunate, you can pull the 2 dredge coming down from the 2nd room towards the 2 vets and cleave them all down at once. Since I'm going to stand on the 2nd switch, I leave a frostbow for my party to take so that they can AoE down the dredge very quickly. For standing on a switch, I recommend using an offhand focus, and the utility skills Earth Shield, Arcane Shield, Mist Form, and Glyph of Elementals. I also take the air trait One with Air for a faster getaway. Before drawing aggro, I summon my Earth Elemental, and as I'm running in, I usually dodge once or twice and tell my party mates to stack stealth so that they can be ready for the door opening. I also use obsidian flesh so that I can safely get to the switch. Once I am at the switch, I conjure my Earth Shield, and once obsidian flesh is about to run out, I use Earth Shield 5 for another few seconds of invulnerability. Next, I would use Mist Form if my party needs more time to enter the room, or to cover my retreat out of the room. If I don't have Mist Form, I will double dodge out of the room, and then swap to Air Attunement and cast Swirling Winds so that I am safe from projectiles as I hop off the walkway. Hug the wall as you proceed around the room towards the next area of this fractal. I do not recommend trying to enter the room with the 3rd and 4th switches because the dredge from the 2nd switch room do not leash and will follow you in. If you are in combat, you can usually de-aggro on this ledge here, or slightly past the ledge on the ground below. Also, you can use a rotation similar to the one that I showed for the 2nd switch to stand on any of the other switches, as it will provide about 13 to 15 seconds of invulnerability. Once your party mates are done in this room, you can help them out by granting them swiftness and casting Unsteady Ground to help prevent the dredge from following. You will be given one of 2 challenges for this next part of the fractal. In the first challenge, you and your party must break down a door using bombs that are provided by the dredge. There are a couple groups of dredge that you must clear out before proceeding to this challenge, so I recommend taking utilities such as Frostbow, Glyph of Storms, or on the defensive side, Mist Form and Arcane Shield, so that you can deal with these groups. The first few dredge can be pulled together, and then the second group of dredge should be LOS'd around pipes in the next room. Try to pull portions of this group so that your party isn't completely overwhelmed, and when pulling, stack might, then use AoEs, and if your elite is off cooldown, Fiery Greatsword to quickly deal with these enemies. Once the majority of these enemies have been defeated, the remaining few will not LOS cleanly, so pull them together, keep up reflects, and DPS them down quickly. Once they have been defeated, proceed up to the metal platform. We use this platform to stack stealth so that we can safely grab the bombs and place them at the door. Since the dredge don't grab the first set of bombs placed at the door, everyone may go up for this first bomb placement. Stack stealth in a smokescreen, and have the Mesmer lay a portal entrance. While stacking stealth, communicate with your party who's picking up which bomb so that you don't have 2 people running to the same bomb, as seen here. Before stealth runs out, your thief should place a Shadow Refuge on top of you, and then count down and place your bombs at the same time, and then have your Mesmer drop the portal exit. Take the portal exit as soon as you drop your bomb, and then wait by the back wall so that you don't aggro any dredge. Once the bombs explode, a second dredge patrol will spawn and proceed up the stairs towards the door. After the first bomb placement, your party must proceed one at a time to drop bombs at the door so that the dredge don't pick them up. After waiting a few seconds for the bombs to respawn in their original locations, stack stealth using either a shadow refuge or blast finishers in a smoke field, and stack swiftness. Locate a bomb, pick it up, and drop it at the door. I like to use obsidian flesh in mist form to distract the dredge for a few seconds to make sure they don't pick up my bomb. Since you don't want to pull the dredge back to your party, you'll have to sacrifice yourself after the bomb is placed. Once the door has been destroyed, not all of the dredge will despawn, so you'll want to stack stealth and swiftness before heading into the next room. Your thief could also take shadow refuge or blinding powder, just to make sure you have enough stealth to safely make the run. In the other challenge, your party must destroy the door using 3 dredge mining cannons that you receive from dredge that you defeat. Stack stealth and swiftness near the entrance to this room so that your blast finishers don't put you in combat with any of the walls. Then proceed towards the door and stop on the right side of the door. Your mesmer or guardian should pull these 3 dredge in front of the door to the right side of the door so that you can quickly and safely DPS them down. You'll also want to keep up reflects for this group as they have ranged attacks. Once those 3 dredge are defeated, they will drop their mining cannons, and you and 2 other party members should pick them up. Target the door and attack it using the 1 skill on the mining cannon. Meanwhile, your thief should stack stealth in a smoke screen and blast finishers, and then when that stealth is about to run out, using a shadow refuge. Once the door has broken open, proceed into the next room and drop your mining cannons. In this next room, your party must defeat a champion dredge and many adds. If your thief is quick, he or she can use scorpion wire to pull the champ before the adds spawn. Otherwise, LOS the group around the south side of the cart and head north around this pipe. For dealing with the champ and the first wave of adds, I like using Fiery Greatsword in combination with Arcane Shield. Once the champ and the adds get to you, stack Might, and then use Obsidian Flesh and conjure your Fiery Greatsword. A Fiery Rush, Whirl, and Firestorm should quickly take care of the adds. Then you'll want to retreat to max melee or past max melee so that the champion does not auto-attack. I will use Fiery Rush again when I see the champ pull his hand back for his shockwave attack. I'll Fiery Rush and then immediately follow it up with a Fiery Whirl so that I can dodge that shockwave. If you do not want to use Fiery Greatsword for this fight, you could also use a Dagger Focus or Scepter Hammer setup. Once the champion has been defeated, you must clear the remaining adds. This usually takes a few minutes. Dagger Focus and Scepter Hammer setups work for clearing the car, or if you have 10 in Arcana, you can also use a staff. I recommend taking some AoE utilities such as Frostbow or Glyph of Storms so that you can quickly AoE down a large group. It is safer to LOS the dredge around the front of the mining car. If you have a Fiery Greatsword, you can Fiery Rush and Fiery Whirl into the mining car to stay stationary. If using Dagger Focus, put down a fire field and stack Might between waves of dredge, and chain your Swirling Winds with other projectile blocks and reflects because the dredge Strazar can shoot through the cart. If using Scepter Hammer, again put down a fire field between waves of dredge so that you can blast into it. When the dredge arrive, use Static Field on the Lightning Hammer along with other party CCs to keep the dredge disabled. Similarly, if using staff, swap to earth as soon as a wave dies so that you can cast Eruption and Lava Font under a dredge group for the Might and DPS. Cast Meteor Shower on large groups, and of course auto-attack and fire attunement otherwise. If you need to take a break because your down penalty is red, or if you need to swap a skill, you can head towards the door on the eastern edge of the room to try to get out of combat. Be liberal with your utility skill use, as you'll have plenty of time for everything to come off cooldown before the final boss fight. If using Frostbow, conjure it between waves, and use Frostbow 4 and 3 on an incoming wave. Also invite one of your party mates to do the same with the second Frostbow. If using Glyph of Storms, cast an Air Attunement for the highest number of strikes, or Water Attunement for second highest. Since the dredge clearing process can take a while, Make sure that you refresh your scale venom and food as needed. At lower levels of fractals, you can also fight the dredge at the back of the car as they spawn. This is dangerous and can lead to your group wiping because the dredge can attack you while they are invulnerable for several seconds as they spawn. Also, if you got the bomb room, you want to be careful that you do not pull any adds from the bomb room into this area, as you'll also have to fight them and cannot leash them in this room. Once the dredge have been defeated, the car will speed off into the east door, breaking it open so that you can proceed to the final boss. Stack stealth and swiftness about 600 range away from the door so that you don't aggro any of the first mobs in the hallway. Then once you reach the end of the hallway, turn left and proceed up the ramp so that you can leash anything that you aggro once your stealth runs out. There are two potential bosses for this fractal. The first is an ice elemental. Dagger focus and scepter hammer setups are appropriate for meleeing this boss, and staff is appropriate if ranging. It is wise to bring a stun break, such as Glyph of Elemental Power, Arcane Shield, or Mist Form, in case a veteran CCs you before the elemental attacks. Also, Frostbow and Fiery Greatsword are good options here, as well as Lightning Flash, for use with Fiery Greatsword or for hitting a switch. As usual, stack Might before engaging, and then conjure Frostbow and use Frostbow 5 so that you can disable the elemental for 5 seconds. Then use Frostbow 4 and 3 and quickly drop the Frostbow and conjure the Greatsword. Then attack with the Greatsword until you need to stack Might again. The Ice Elemental has 4 moves. The first is its heal, in which it will go down on one knee and summon about 4 veteran Ice Elementals. To interrupt this attack, you can use any CC. The vets have an attack that can knock you back, which is why you want a stun break, and they also produce fields that apply chill. This elemental will also produce an Ice V, much like the elementals in COE. It will stomp its right foot, and the Ice V will grow in front of it, so just walk through it and continue attacking at its back to avoid this attack. When it pulls back its right arm, it will apply an agony field in front of it. Dodge through it, and stay about 300 range away to be safe from the field. Finally, when the Ice Elemental leaps up into the air, it will produce several ice spikes that apply agony. Just dodge or strafe out of the circles. The other boss is a Dredge power suit that we fight in a very similar manner. Its agony attack has ridiculous range. You'll see it charge up and pound the ground several times, producing 3 waves that each inflict agony and damage. You'll want to double dodge through this, and then if you have an energy weapon, swap attunements to get back a dodge. Its second attack is a bomb barrage, in which case it will bend over and shoot out 2 waves of bombs. Simply strafe or dodge out of the AoE circles that the bombs produce. Its auto attack is a double punch with at least 300 range, so you'll want to dodge once to avoid it. If it leaps into the air, it will send out 5 shockwaves that travel about 600 to 900 range away, so simply dodge or strafe those as they travel towards you. Note that this boss does not have any CCs, so you do not need a stun break, though taking Arcane Shield or Mist Form is nice if you run out of dodges. If using a Fiery Greatsword, it is safest to rush during a bomb barrage because a Mesmer can feed back the bombs. Also, a Guardian can use a Wall of Reflection to reflect the bombs from one side, or an Elementalist can use Swirling Winds. If a party member is downed during a fight with either of these bosses, use Obsidian Flesh or Mist Form before attempting to res. If a party member is fully dead, kite the boss away before attempting to res. If your party is having trouble fighting either the Power Suit or the Ice Elemental, there is a corner at the southwestern station that you can use for Fiery Greatsword. Once the boss is superheated, LOS it to this corner and then use Fiery Rush, Whirl, and Firestorm to defeat it quickly. And that's it for the Underground Facility Fractal. Thanks for watching.